Hello, my name is Janelle Steer. I just published my first book on Amazon. I would love for you to read it. I would like to read now the introduction note to maybe pique your interest a little bit more. The book is called Married to an Atheist, a love story from Idaho, and it centers basically on how I grew up with my husband, same Protestant Christian church, Disciples of Christ. We got married in our early 20s, had kids, and then life has happened. So since then, he's decided he's an atheist. I had the choice at one point after he told me to walk away and just give up on my marriage. I chose not to do that. I wanted to stay for my kids, for my husband. I loved him too much. I loved my children too much. I've seen families break up from divorce before. I knew we could just try to make it work. There's always that chance still that it's not going to work out, but I feel like in the last 7 years especially, we have really come a long way in our communication. We've learned more about each other, we've learned more about ourselves, and all of that is prevalent in this book. Parts of the book he is actually giving me his own feedback or his own response to questions that I've asked him, which I really appreciate his willingness to participate with me. So here is my note for the reader. This is the introduction that you'll find at the very beginning of the book. Since my husband's confession of being an atheist, I've been struggling to come to terms with the reality of his beliefs, as well as how to balance our differences in philosophies with life, with our friends, and with our families. As a result, God has been nudging me all of these years since to put our experiences into words for others to read. Others who may have similar relationships and would find some use, at least entertainment if not lessons, from what my marriage has taught me. We both grew up in the same Protestant Christian church with similar family backgrounds and with comparable experiences for our faith journey. However, experiences during our marriage caused him to lose his faith while mine only grew stronger. Now, 16 years after we said I do in front of our families and friends in the same church we had grown up in, we are still married. Those years in between have been some of the hardest trials of our life together. I, as a Christian, believe that God is a reason for our trials, that we may find a way to strengthen our marriage relationship. There have been many days when the trials seem overbearing, and I am tempted to walk away from him. Then I think about the reality if I did leave my husband, especially how it would affect our 2 daughters, and my heart breaks. I cannot do that to my husband or my children. I cannot do that to God. If the Christian woman has a husband who is an unbeliever and he is unwilling or he is willing to continue living with her, she must not leave him, for the Christian wife brings holiness to her marriage. Otherwise, your children would not have a godly influence, but now they are set apart for him. From the New Living Translation, 1 Corinthians 7, verses 13 through 14. Therefore, I must commit as I promised to my husband, and not just because it is a decree in the Bible, but more so because I love my family with all of my heart. I could not hurt even my husband simply as I hate that he is a non-believer. Reader, you will see that what follows in this novel is not just a testimony of a husband and wife separated by faith. This is our journey from childhood to our present day, including our hopes for a future together. Each section has stories from both of us. Each section where Tom writes is in his own perspective is always in a box. The first section is our backstory for how we came together to be the couple we are today. The second section is a dialogue between faith and logic. I feel it is important to include this, especially to help myself better understand my own husband's points of view, along with my own according to other scholars and religious experts. I used to have an aversion, a fear of anything that did not make sense within my faith. The more my husband told me about his beliefs, the more my brain turned off, unwilling to listen to anything outside of my comfort zone. Now I believe that it is vital for me to understand his views so that I can improve my communication with him and so that I may be able to strengthen my own faith. I do not need to fear ideas or people that are different. I need to research and come to my own conclusion based on the information I find. This is what God wants me to do. That is why He gives me intelligence, my ability to reason, and my choices to act the way I do. You will notice my format is a mix between memoir, personal essay, and journal. Since our life has been so eclectic, to say the least, my writing about it only seems appropriate to meld together my experiences in a non-conventional manner. Please know I am not an expert in the slightest. I am just a woman of faith trying to balance my own perspective with my husband's atheistic views. I sincerely pray that you, as the reader of this hodgepodge of a novel, will find some comfort knowing there's hope for all marriages despite differences. And I hope, if you do read it, that you will share this with other people. I would love to get more reviews, more, just more readers and more access so that people know that, I don't know, we can just find a connection. I definitely just want to find connections with other people. I think that's what God put us on this earth to do. We're not meant to live here alone. And I think that definitely with my own marriage, that's what I've learned, especially through God's teaching as I've gone through the different trials and am now here talking to you. So blessings to you, my viewers and my hopefully readers. Please like and subscribe. My blog is JanellesCreativeLife.com. JanellesCreativeLife.com, no apostrophe. JanellesCreativeLife.com. I would love to hear from you. Look for my book on Amazon, Married to an Atheist, A Love Story from Idaho. Thank you.